The monsoon rains hammered the corrugated tin roofs of the Manila slum as 12-year-old Rosa sprinted through the flooded alleyways, her bare feet splashing through murky water. Her lungs burned, but she didn't stop. She couldn't stop. Ahead, beneath a crimson awning that offered little shelter from the deluge, stood 3 men in dark suits. The center figure, a broad-shouldered man with silver streaking his temples, was Vicente Salazar, the most feared name in the city's underworld. People whispered that he controlled everything from the ports to the police stations. Rosa had heard the stories. Children were taught to cross the street when they saw his black Mercedes. But desperation had a way of making fear irrelevant. "Sir. Sir, please." Rosa skidded to a stop in front of them, gasping for air. Rain plastered her dark hair to her face, and a jagged scar ran down her left cheek, a reminder of the fire that had taken her father 2 years ago. The bodyguards moved to intercept her, but Vicente raised one hand. His eyes, cold and calculating, studied the drenched child before him. "They are hurting my mother." Rosa's voice cracked. "The loan sharks, they came to our house. Please, you have to help her." Vicente's expression remained unreadable. He took a slow drag from his cigarette, the ember glowing orange in the grey afternoon. "Girl, do I look like a charity? Your mother's debts are not my concern." "But they said you're the only one powerful enough." I said no. His voice was flat, final. He turned away, dismissing her with the gesture. Rosa stood frozen as the 3 men walked toward their waiting car. The bodyguards climbed in first. Vicente paused at the door, and for just a moment, something flickered across his face, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. The Mercedes pulled away, leaving Rosa alone in the rain. She ran back home, her heart sinking with each step. When she burst through the door of their small shanty, she found her mother, Lucia, slumped against the wall. Her lip was split, and bruises were already forming on her arms. "Mama." Rosa dropped to her knees beside her. Lucia tried to smile through the pain. "I'm okay, Anak. I'm okay." But Rosa could see she wasn't. The loan sharks had made their message clear: pay within 3 days, or they'd return to collect in other ways. That night, Rosa lay on their thin mat, listening to her mother's labored breathing. She thought about Vicente Salazar's cold eyes, his easy dismissal. The adults always said the powerful didn't care about people like them, but something nagged at her. That flicker she'd seen in his face. What Rosa didn't know was that Vicente Salazar returned to his penthouse office that evening unable to shake the image of the scarred girl from his mind. He stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the rain streak down the glass. His lieutenant, Dante, sat reviewing paperwork across the room. "Find out about the girl," Vicente said suddenly. "The one from this afternoon." Dante looked up, surprised. "Boss?" "The child with the scar. Find out who's threatening her mother." Within hours, Dante returned with the information. The loan sharks were small-time operators working the slums, charging impossible interest rates. The mother, Lucia Santos, was a seamstress who'd borrowed money for her daughter's medical treatment after the fire. She'd been paying faithfully until her only sewing machine broke. Vicente listened in silence. Then he made 2 phone calls. 3 days later, Rosa was walking home from begging at the market when she noticed something strange. The loan shark's usual corner was empty. Their small office, really just a shack with a metal door, had a closed sign hanging crookedly from a nail. She ran home to find her mother sitting at their table, staring in disbelief at an envelope. Inside was a receipt marked, "Paid in full," and enough cash for a new sewing machine. "I don't understand," Lucia whispered. "Who would do this?" Rosa's mind immediately went to Vicente Salazar, but she said nothing. It seemed impossible. A week passed. Rosa was helping her mother deliver finished garments to a shop downtown when she spotted the black Mercedes parked outside a restaurant. Her heart leaped. Before Lucia could stop her, Rosa darted across the street. Vicente was emerging from the restaurant, Dante at his side. When he saw Rosa approaching, he sighed, but didn't walk away. "Was it you?" Rosa asked breathlessly. "Did you help us?" Vicente looked down at her, his expression stern. "I don't know what you're talking about. The loan sharks are gone. The debt is paid. It was you." For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he crouched down until he was at eye level with her. Up close, she could see the weariness in his face, the weight of years she couldn't comprehend. "Listen to me, girl. The world you live in, it's not kind. Power is the only thing that matters. You remember that. But you used your power to help us," Rosa said softly. "Doesn't that matter?" Something in Vicente's jaw tightened. He stood abruptly. "Go home to your mother. Stay out of trouble." As he turned to leave, Rosa called out, "Thank you, Mr. Salazar. Thank you for caring." He paused mid-step. Without turning back, he said, "I didn't do it because I care. I did it because..." He trailed off. Then, so quietly Rosa almost missed it, "because someone should have done the same for me, once." He climbed into his Mercedes, and it drove away. Rosa stood on the sidewalk, watching the car disappear into Manila's chaotic traffic. She thought about what he'd said, about power being all that mattered. But she'd seen something different. She'd seen that even in the hardest hearts, there could be a sliver of light. That sometimes people did the right thing not because it benefited them, but because they remembered what it felt like to be powerless. To be the one no one would help. Her mother came up beside her, putting a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Come, Anak. Let's go home." As they walked back through the crowded streets, Rosa made herself a promise. When she grew up, when she had any power at all, she would remember this day. She would remember that the smallest act of mercy could change everything. Behind his tinted windows across the city, Vicente Salazar sat in silence, the ghost of a scarred girl's gratitude haunting him in ways he didn't want to examine. He'd spent 20 years building walls around whatever humanity he had left, but perhaps, he thought, those walls had one small crack after all. Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.